It has been a minute since we heard that intro. And it has been a minute since I heard that. But y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy Joe Castro here with my brother from another big game, James. And it's the best of enemies. Obviously, we're missing a face. George Carmi couldn't be with us this week, but he will be back next week. The best of enemies are back. James, what's going on, brother? How you been?
I've been good, big dog. You know what I'm saying? It's been like 100, feels like 100 years since we finally did this. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling good. It's been a long time. Y'all been on this high for a long time, so I know y'all just feeling good. Can't wait to just keep on talking about it and all that good stuff. So okay, let's go.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it feels good to be an Eagles fan right now. I don't know about. I mean, look, I feel like Cowboys are where the Eagles were probably like around like the beginning of the Doug Peterson era, where we were like, our coach, I don't know what we're doing. We didn't have much trust in our front office at that point. So I say that to say this: you never really know what's going to happen. You guys have kind of a new lease on life with the coaching staff, at least. Like, how are you feeling about this coaching staff? I guess we'll start there.
I mean, I like the staff. I like Schottenheimer. We've been talking about, when you had Nick Sirianni, he was like the unknown, but he kind of embellied your kind of the culture there, and that's what people really loved about Sirianni, and that he was the young guy didn't really care, didn't had the brash personality, kind of like how y'all fans the whole city is. So I think when we're looking at Schottenheimer, I like him because he's young. I think he's only like 51, 52. He's Libra gang all day. I've been trying to tell everybody he's Libra gang. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things, a lot of good characteristics I like because he's representing that sign right there. But I just feel like he's what the team needs. I'm not dissing McCarthy because I like McCarthy, but as far as that youthfulness and that really kind of personal can really kind of reach the players, I just think at this point in time, this point in juncture, this his type of spirit is what the kind of the Cowboys need right now.
Yeah, I've said it before. I feel like with the Cowboys, as far as the Eagles go right now, and I guess you could say this about a lot of teams. The unknown right now is for like the scariest thing for the Eagles because I feel like the Eagles know who we are. We kind of know what our team is, but you guys getting Pickens, a new coach, and I do believe I've been banging the table saying this for years now. I do believe that culture matters. You know what I'm saying? Culture definitely matters. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year, especially being us being the first matchup. I feel like that can kind of set a tone. Like I feel like if the Eagles go out there and spank on the Cowboys, just hypothetically, right? We go out there and spank. It says something to the NFL, and opposite is true as well. If the Cowboys come out there and handle business against the Philadelphia Eagles, it says something against the to the NFL. The NFL has to kind of open their eyes. What? How much? How much? I know you always say that we're not the rival, we're not the we're the little brother. But how much are you putting on this first game? Like I saw that Michael Parsons is going to be kind of part of training camp, which is awesome to see. But how much pressure do you have for the Cowboys in this Week 1 matchup?
Honestly, I don't think it's a lot of pressure. It's week one. You got a new staff. I think everybody just wants to see how we're really going to look. So I don't think it's pressure in that aspect. There shouldn't be the expectation we're going to come in and whoop ass. Like, nah, we just coming off of 7-win season. We're coming off a tumultuous kind of off season with the staff switch over and things of that nature. I think the main thing that from my perspective, I feel like how we going to look. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going in the expectation we go in there and stomp on teams and whatever because I don't know what we're going to look like. This is our first year with this guy, the staff, everything. Dak is back. You got new pieces and everything. So I'm just looking. Well, how they're going to play? How is the coaching going to look? Are they going to be competitive? Are they, what's the attitude going to be like? Are we going to be playing like game? But I'm looking for the energy because energy has been the biggest thing that Schottenheimer has really brought to the table. Besides more of the personal attitude, but that energy, he's a very energetic guy. So I'm really liking to see because a lot of times when the Cowboys were with McCarthy, especially when we went into big matchups, the team would seem like they were always flat and we would always be wondering like, what's wrong with this team? You about to play in Lake Buffalo, you about to play Miami, y'all coming out flat first two series, just not playing like you've been playing. So I think a lot of us are going to be looking at how's this team going to be playing. Is this going to be the energetic team? Is this going to be like, are we going to be taking on what the coach is? So I think we're just going to be looking at how is this team really going to be in this first week. I think the best game to open up to see what you really look like is up against the Super Bowl champs at their field, raising the banner. I want Jaren all them to see it. I want the Cowboys to see it to understand that this has escaped us for a long time. We need to get serious because we got talent. We need to finally make this happen and stop talking.
Yeah, and the Eagles want to try to see it too. Trust me, Eagles fans are going to be in high droves out there. I can't wait for that game. I will say this. I know for you guys, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like for you guys got to just play your games. There's no real I don't want to say there's no expectations, but there's no real you got to blow every team out. Everybody's got their eye on. I feel like with the Eagles right now, we have to kind of start this year off hot. We got to kind of start off the right way. We got to go out there and I hate to say we have to win this game, but I kind of feel like we do. I kind of feel like if we go out there and lose this first game, it's not a good look for us. You know what I'm saying? So I think
No, not at all.
yeah, I think that is a big game for us. I think that people are going to have their eye on us, especially with y'all offense. Y'all offense always gives us trouble, especially having Dak back now at 100% health. He has a full off season of just resting or he didn't have to worry about anything, which is nice for your quarterback once in a while. But you look at the Eagles, everybody kind of knows what we want to do. I mean, we are a Saquon-led team. Obviously, Jalen Hurts had an amazing Super Bowl, and he's been a great quarterback for us. But this is right now a Saquon-led team. So you guys know that your weakness last year was the run, right? So I want to know if the Eagles come out and just, Saquon you guys to death, Barkley to death. Do you think that's something with the offseason acquisitions that the Cowboys had? Do you think that's something that they will be able or more equipped to handle than they were last year? I think is what I want to say.
I mean, we're all still talking in Cowboys land, and we need that one tech. I mean, we've been talking about it. I've been talking about it all off season. I'm gonna keep it real. And I've been giving your team props, especially the defensive line, because I believe it's one of the better defensive lines in football. If not one like the top five, because you got the Jordan Davis, you have the Jalen Carter, you have those two records right there in the middle. You have the supreme one tech, the big boy that you really can't use to stop the run, and then you have that three tech that can play both the run and the pass and can really wreck shop and wreck whole offenses, right? And Jordan Davis is a big guy. He can really push the pocket back. So I think that's what we're looking at. And we're still missing that defensive one tech. So Saquon has really never got off on us for real, even with the Giants. This is really the first time with the Eagles that he really tortured us as far as running over 150, 60 yards and running all over our team. That wasn't happening when he was with the Giants. So I think if he comes in there and goes crazy again, everybody in Cowboy land will be like, see, we told you so. We told you to get that one tech, and there it goes. He just got exposed early because we feel like we know we're gonna have pass rushers, Joe. We got Mike is gonna be in the building. We got Dante Fowler back. I like the Marshawn Nealon kid coming in the second year. We love that Donovan Ezraku. He just signed, and we just feel like he's gonna have a tremendous year. The rookie from Boston College. So, they got some guys there. We feel like we're really going to be be able to attack the pass, but we got to stop the run. And I still don't feel good about Mozzie. So I'll really love to see if they can get somebody in there because I feel like the completion or the defensive completion where we'll feel good is if we have a solid one tech in there that can really stop the run because we got linebackers, we got some players, but we got to stop the run. And week one to me is where we're going to see where we're really at on that defense.
All right, now I hate to do this, C. James, but this is the preseason is the time of lists. Okay, I know I didn't tell you this prior to, I'm kind of springing this on you, but I want to talk about lists. Last year, we all did our top 32 quarterbacks, and we're starting to see that resurface. We're starting to see people resurface.
Yeah.
I never ever changed this. I never deleted it because I knew I was going to bring this back up. I want to talk to you about your list, and I not no hating way because I feel like at the time me and you agreed kind of on your list. I'm not going to lie to you. There was still a lot to be proven for Jalen Hurts at that point. How do you feel about your list now, though? Because a lot of people are putting this person there, that person there. Who would you move around? And I'm going to do the same thing, but who would you move around a little bit in your opinion? Is there anybody you would move around a little bit?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely dropping Dak. He's not number two right now on that list. I mean, he didn't have that year he had in 23, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why he was up that high because he had an MVP type year. That didn't happen last year, so obviously he's not the number two quarterback in my eyes. So yeah, there's definitely moving around. I'm sorry, Jaden Daniels is in that top 10 for me now. I know he's only a 1 year, but I don't feel like he's a 1 year wonder. I've watched a lot of football, and as much as I hate Washington. Um, he's the real deal. He's the real deal. So he's definitely going to be in there now. Justin Herbert, yeah, he probably be a little bit farther down. Well, I had him at 9, so he might be 10 because I get the talent, but he ain't did nothing. So I just don't. That's crazy how people just always put him higher above you.
Yeah,
And we talking about playoff wins and things of that nature. He always seems like to get a pass. Nobody ever really just blows him up about his playoff failures, but they always point it out with so many other quarterbacks. That kind of pisses me off. But yeah, I would definitely Joe Burrow will be up there because I love Joe Burrow. I think he would probably be between him and Josh Allen. I like him a little better than Josh Allen. Josh Allen has better physical gifts, but I just think Joe Burrow's just Joe Cool. You feel me? Lamar Jackson. I will put Josh Allen ahead of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson would be below that. Um, man, I think it was going to be like around that seventh, eighth. And would still have Jalen Hurts in there because I feel like Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback. I would have him probably like around that 5 to 10 area, that's where it would get jumbled with me. And I have to really sit down and see who would I put who, but that would be jumbled. But Aaron Rodgers would definitely wouldn't be in that mother sucker.
yeah, yeah. No, and honestly, I'm glad you brought up Justin Herbert because I've been anti Justin Herbert all off season. I'm so tired of hearing his name. He's done absolutely nothing. And he does have talent. He's tall. He can throw the ball far. It's pretty, and it will probably look really good on TV. Like he's a great Friday Night Lights quarterback. That's like what he can be. He can throw a beautiful spiral, but he hasn't done anything in the league. And then yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's off doing drugs in some cave right now. So I mean, yeah, you can't put him up
Right.
there. But I agree with your list, and even Mr. Well, hold on, I don't want to mess up his name, Mr. Ralph Faloran. He said it's not a bad list, and it's not a bad list at all. And the real reason why I brought it up is just because the change. It was a plus to see you move Dak down, but the change in the
Yeah,
NFL, we
definitely.
saw a lot of quarterbacks that we really didn't expect to be who they are right now. You know what I'm saying? I think even
Hmm.
CJ Stroud is an interesting player because he kind of had a bad year. He had a down year. And you talk about Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels, maybe he's up next. Is he going to have that sophomore slump? I do agree he's good. I think people are overhyping Jaden Daniels a little bit, but I think he's very good. I do think he's very good. I just think people are a little bit like it's recency bias or whatever. I think that
Yeah,
we got
you
to
know
see
how
more.
they did the same thing with Stroud though, Big Joe. You feel me? They did the same thing with Joe. I mean, CJ Stroud last year. That's why he was in there, right? Because of what the year he had his rookie year. But we had talked about it ourselves, right? We said he was going to have a year or two fall off a little bit. We said he was going to come down to earth a little bit, and he did. Like there's a lot of times that sophomore slump happens. So I feel like a slump could happen. A sophomore slump could happen with Jaden Daniels. But I feel like just the way they look at CJ Stroud. Well, I don't like how they look at CJ Stroud. I'm gonna keep it real, Joe. We know he struggled, but nobody's not gonna tell me CJ Stroud's not a dog. And still,
Right.
like to me, around that top 10 is Carter. He's still a dog. Like he had some interceptions, but the man had 2 back-to-back year playoffs
Mhm.
appearances through him. They don't have him. They're not going to playoffs. Period.
Right.
I don't
Right.
feel that. If the Texans do not have CJ Stroud, they're not making the playoffs in the last 2 years. So I don't kind of like how they kind of played him like, oh, he had a really down year. He didn't have no really down year. He threw he didn't have the greatest pass protection, things of that nature. But CJ Stroud still to me is a dog. But I definitely feel like Daniels is going to have a good year. But I definitely think he's going to come down to earth because this is the NFL. People going to figure you out. You ain't just to me going to just be coming in bow bow bow. There's going to be some kind of a drop off a little bit. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the crowning of him, like I've seen him as high as like 2, and some people
That's
saying
what I'm
3, and I'm like, man, it's hot
saying.
chill out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I like the kid. we love George. I think that we can both say that. Like, I remember when I first told you, hey, how do you feel about us adding George? It was like, let's freaking do it. We love George, and we are happy for the community. Like, I think I can speak for both of us when I say that last year was cool. Last year was nice to see them actually, playing as well as they were.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't want to lose to them, but it was nice. We didn't expect that in the beginning of the year. But yeah, people are just like you said, the crowning of them so early, it's a bit much. But this is not just the NFL. This is the NFC East. I think that you can make an argument that maybe aside from the Giants, and who knows what happens with Russell Wilson, but aside from the Giants, I think you can make a very good argument that you're going to see a better team, out of the Eagles, out of the Cowboys, out of obviously Washington. Maybe they got old, so it'll be interesting to see who they are. But they have tape on Jaden Daniels now, so I would put him. I said I was going to do mine as well. I'll do mine as well. I'm not going to just leave my guy out there hanging. But I put Dak Prescott at 3. That's definitely not going to happen again. I would keep him in my top 10 though. I will say that because
Dak is a top 10 quarterback. Dak is a top 10 quarterback in my opinion.
I honestly wouldn't change this too much. I think the only changes I would make is probably move Dak Prescott down and Joe Burrow. I would probably switch Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott. And then I'm taking Aaron Rodgers out. I don't know who I'm putting there.
Mm-hmm. Are you keeping Jared Goff in there?
I would. I think maybe I would put Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield down there at 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's had 2 really good years too. And shout out to my guy Dave. He would love to hear that probably. So I would probably put Baker down there at this point. I'd have to really, really think. But I wouldn't change mine too much. I do think that Dak is a top 10 guy when he plays. He's got to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can say that with any quarterback. It's just Patrick.
I mean, like I said, I feel like Hurts. Everybody's kind of the talk is about him right now, right? Everybody's talking with Cam Newton, what he been saying. He ain't in my top 10. I think that's what sparked a lot of things, and a lot of people now is trying to say, well, the whole team carried him, and he's that. But this is what I'm gonna say about Jalen Hurts. I've never been a Jalen Hurts hater. You get what I'm saying? Like I've never been a Jalen Hurts hater. We have our fun with and all that stuff like that. But mainly, he went to the Super Bowl without Saquon Barkley, and that's what I can say about him. You get what I'm saying? Like he went to the Super Bowl without him. You had Miles Sanders, who we have now. You feel me? And so when people say, okay, he had all these weapons and they carried him. Okay, but there was a year where he didn't have that, and it was Jalen Hurts who took the Eagles to the Super Bowl. You get what I'm saying? So he's done it without the help, and he's done it with the help, and he won the Super Bowl when he got the ultimate help. So to me, that's merit to me. That's merit to me in the NFL, and that's merit to me for a top quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's got to be respected. I mean, it's so weird because and people are roasting me for putting Dak at 3.
They already told my list was trash. That's why I was like, "Oh Lord, you showing them lists? They about to kill me in the comments."
It just changed so much because I didn't disagree with your list like back. I remember going through these lists and being like, you can make an argument. Obviously, we were all kind of around, all over the place. But the top 10 was kind of the same. We all kind of had the same people up there. So, I mean, it's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't crazy. I think what it shows is just the maturation of the NFL. Because you can make an argument that Pat Mahomes maybe not be that number 1 guy anymore. Like if he has if he had the number 1 defense last year. Like, a lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget that he had a pretty darn good team around him last year. And
he did not have the greatest year. That was not Pat Mahomes last year.
Exactly. So it's like, I still have him at number 1. But there's an argument for every person on that list, in my opinion. So I just think it's fun to kind of see the changing of the tides. And I think it's kind of fun to see Drew back in here trying to talk junk to you. Say,
what's up, Drew? Yeah, I know. I seen him talking to trash. I already knew he was going ham.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 72 people here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're not on James' channel today. We had a little technical difficulties, but next week
we will be back on there again. Yes,
we'll have everything. We just didn't want to not do this because we couldn't get it going. So appreciate him, being flexible with it. But at the end of the day, I think that lists are nice to kind of get us going, right? Get us ready for everything. But we got training camp coming up. I know the Eagles. We have the rookies and veterans going in, I believe, 2 days. I think, yeah, 2 days, the 20th. So yeah, 2 more days. We are back out there at the NovaCare. How much time you guys got to your training camp? Do you know?
I I mean, I believe we're hitting the ground running Monday. They're gonna have like they do a little like the appreciation veterans type thing. But I believe we're hitting the ground running Monday, Tuesday, and that's when it's really gonna start popping. With the practices. So I'm pretty much ready for it. We already know the situation with Micah. Um, you know, that's frustrating, but we'll see. This Micah thing is just it's the same thing that always is, and now everybody is like, I don't know if everybody, but me, I said he need to hold out. So my homie said hold in, and I'm just like, this is frustrating because you're gonna get paid, right? Y'all know y'all gonna pay him. It's just I don't know why y'all don't hurry up and just not even hurry up, but just pay your dogs. Let them have their peace of mind. Let them have their money. You coming in with a new install of a defense, you new defensive coordinator, you got moving pieces, moving parts. He is now the full leader because some other players are gone. He is the man on defense. Why wouldn't you have him with his money already when he can come in there excited, ready? He's gonna be a whole different animal if he had his money right now, right before camp. You feel me? Why wouldn't you want to do that instead of you trying to play this game? You're not winning this negotiation, and in an aspect of he's going to get paid. So I don't. It's always to me like it's probably going to be like the years. I was always went on years. So I think maybe that will be always the sticking point. But heading into camp, man, it's right here. Micah says he's going to be there, but it's just that's frustrating when you're like, who's going to get paid and who's not on the. You know what I'm saying? It's just frustrating because
Yeah,
it's
and
the
he said he
same
wanted
old
to get
thing.
it done early. That's
It's
the
the same
crazy.
old thing, dog.
Yeah, and he wanted to get it done early. He's been saying that a bunch of times. He said he wanted to get it done early. I, I mean, as an Eagles fan, it's like, yeah, keep hurting yourself, Jerry. Like, that's cool with me. Every time I see somebody else get signed, I'm like, oh, that price, yesterday's price ain't today's price, big dog. So,
I
yeah, he's
mean,
already
and
making more
he's
money.
already said it. I mean, and I actually, Joe, not to cut you off, but I actually posted an article like a few months ago, and it was basically talking about the situation. It was from CBS Sports, and it was basically a real article that was like, okay, yeah, this is what's really going on. Where Micah is looking at his peers, it's just like me and you. I mean, like we're watching somebody and we know our worth, and we're watching our peers getting paid, and we're sitting here like, okay, I'm doing just as good as them, if not better, but yet I got to sit here and wait for my money. That's frustrating when I know I'm good and y'all gonna pay me, but why do we have to play this game? Especially when he said, okay, we wanted to get it done last year, but I understand you want Dak and C to get done. But then you see these other guys, and he mentioned the players, and this is what the article said. He ain't gonna keep being patient when he sees the Miles Garrett get paid, when he sees the Max Crosby get paid, when he see other people get extended. He gonna start chirping in that media. And this is a whole different animal you're dealing with because Mike is not going to be quiet about his contract. Other guys might be like, "Oh yeah, we'll see how it plays out." Mike is going to be. He already been on air saying it, and you think he's not going to keep talking about it? He is. He's not going to be quiet about it because that's not the type of player he is.
Yeah, yeah, and shout out to Micah. I will say Micah has been as professional as he can. If I was on the show with
Yes, he has.
Undertaker, if I was on the show with the Undertaker, I'll spill all the beans too, bro. I really don't hold that against him. Like it is what it is. Like at some point, it just boils over, and it's so weird. It really is just so weird. I can only imagine how you feel about it, but it's just like, just bro, get it over. You know you're gonna pay him. He's young. He's like I'm mad that you guys have him. So it's like when you guys are making it, draw out like this, it becomes one of those bring him to Philly, like make up. You know what I'm saying? That's never gonna happen. So it's like just get it over with. Just get this over with. Put us out of our misery. Let me stop dreaming that he'll come to Philly. I think he's gonna have a good year, but why tempt him? Why make him feel any type of way? You know what I'm saying? You did it with Dak. That didn't
And
help. I
injury is real. Injury is real, Joe. He got
think.
injured last year. That was his first time. and you never know what happens in this game. You feel what I'm saying? So why not secure your star, man? Why take care of him because that injury thing is real. We've seen it happen in training camp. We just saw it last year, dog. We lost Sam Williams. Sam Williams, we all had this, we were all excited for Sam Williams because we're like, okay, this is Sam Williams' year. This is his time to really turn up. He's probably going to be that starting edge guy. And even then, uh, our guy last year, damn it,
Mueller?
um, no, our coach, defensive coach, uh,
What's his
I
name?
go grandpa. I can't remember his name, but it'll come in my head in a second. Mike Zimmer. Even
Yeah,
Mike Zimmer said um, we were going to use Sam Williams a lot. Like 70% of the plays, he was all going to be a big thing in our defense. And what happened? He blew his knee out for the whole year. And then even Mike, and that was in training camp. We saw Sean Lee, who we thought our defense was going to be ready. We had to go get Rolando McClain because Sean Lee blew his knee out in 2014. Injuries happen. Why take the chance? Like if he's coming to camp, is he going to do drills and stuff? I mean, is he going to be active? I think that's what I'll be looking at because I wouldn't. I ain't playing in no drills, dog. Like I don't care how much I love my team. I'm not playing in no drills. Anything happen to me where anything that can undercut me for my money.
yeah. It's funny because it's like I was thinking about this the other day, and I hate to openly admit that I think about Dallas Cowboy contracts off of camera, but I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, the only thought process I would have is that you're like hoping that these guys get worse so you can pay them less. So it's like it just doesn't make much sense to me, like the waiting game. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Hmm.
see the positive that comes out, and I don't know. It just doesn't make much sense to me. Born Crow said Joe could we extend JC right now? Jalen Carter, we could. I mean, if we wanted to, and that kind of that coincides because a lot of people say that
I can
Howie.
see y'all doing it though,
Yeah,
Joe. Not to cut you off, but I
exactly.
can see your front office doing that. Get it out the way now. Make Jalen Carter feeling good. Let him go out there clear minded. He ain't got to worry about nothing. He can just be that dog.
Yeah, don't even worry about that fifth year, bro. We got you. We don't even need to see it. We don't need to see one more step. I could see it happening. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I'll go that far. I think what the Eagles do, especially the front office, obviously Howie Roseman is, he's very good at what he does. He's very good with numbers. He knows how to make all that stuff work. But what we have that a lot, and I got into a big conversation on Twitter about this, but what we have is Jeffrey Lurie not afraid to spend money. You know what I'm saying? Because the only reason that the way that we structure our cap hits work is because Jeffrey Lurie is willing to give you cash up front. So you agree to whatever they're, hey, we're going to give you $25 million right now. Just take off an extra 5, 6 over the span of 5 or 6 years. And then in 5 years, we're going to do this. So they're more open to listen because they're just saying, we'll give you money. Don't worry about the money. We just want to make sure you're here. We want to make sure we can give other people money. And that's why Jeffrey Lurie sold, I think it was 8% stake in his team so that he could pay these guys that are coming up because Jalen Carter is going to get a bag. Whatever, I
He's
wouldn't
gonna
be
get a
surprised.
series bag.
I wouldn't be surprised if we try to do it before Micah, just to up his money a little bit. Because if we give, I don't think it'll happen, but if we can get Jalen Carter around like anywhere under $40 million, I think that it's a steal. I think that it is a steal. If we can get him anywhere under 40 a year, it's an absolute steal, and it drives everybody else's price up. So I could definitely see the Eagles doing that. I would not doubt it at all. I kind of expect it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of expect some guys to get signed. We already did it with Reed Blankenship. Why wait? Especially now you look at these
Yeah.
contracts. I'd love to ask you about that because I know this doesn't really necessarily have to do with the Eagles or Cowboys, but you see the guaranteed contracts now to these second round picks. It becomes like, why not just get it over with, re-sign these guys, get them long-term deals. If you're going to be guaranteeing their money anyways, you might as well. But how do you feel about that? How do you feel about these, second round picks and third round picks now asking for fully guaranteed money?
I'm not mad at it.
No.
It's the NFL. You feel me? Like now, I ain't gonna lie. When uh Jaden from the Texans, when he signed that fully guaranteed deal, my first thought, Joe, when he signed that fully guaranteed deal, Jaden Higgins, I said, "Oh Lord, everybody gonna want it because you ain't gonna have no second rounders say, "Well, he got his guarantee. Why can't I get mine?" That's what happens. That the domino effect was going to be crazy. But you know what? I understand why they didn't guarantee contracts because it's the NFL. It's a very physical game, physical sport. But at the same time, you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. I feel like when these kids want to get a guaranteed contract, they should because they're going through a man. Football's crazy. You know that, Joe. And they need some side of security because when those rookies get hurt or whatever, them ownership quick to toss them away. Ownership is quick to get rid of you when you get that little injury. So yeah, I'm cool with them getting guaranteed money. I hated that it made everybody do it, and then now people want to hold out. I hate that aspect of it, but I don't hate these players getting guaranteed contracts. No, I don't. They play one of the most physical sports in the game right now. Their career could be over in one play, and they should have some money for everything they do. No, I'm cool with them guaranteed contracts, and it don't bother me.
Yeah, shout out to Solomon Wilder. I thought he was on his third year for some reason. So my bad. Appreciate you, correcting me and stuff.
Oh
Hey,
damn!
I'll take that. I'll take that. Hey, so now we got to wait a little bit
And
more.
then better.
His money went up even more. His money went up even more. I kind of want to ask you this too. I know that now that we're kind of on the string of non-Eagles and Cowboys related stuff, Born Crow said, Joe, if Shedeur gets cut from the Browns, should the Eagles pick him up? I doubt he's going to get cut. But I'm kind of excited to see what he can do. I kind of feel like people been hating
Man, I
on him.
want to see him turn up, dog. Okay, let me just tell you right now, Joe. I didn't like the hate that he received. I get it. We all get it, right?
Yeah.
But the way they did him the way they did him in the draft was despicable, in my opinion. That was despicable. I just feel like they try to label him, and Shedeur is just not that kind of kid, in my opinion. Like, yeah, he like his dad, but he's not that type of kid. And the way they just try to teach him a lesson was just wrong. And I ain't gonna lie, before we got Joe Milton, I said, boy, if he went through the draft, I'm telling Cowboys pick him up. Cowboys pick him up. I don't care if they got Joe Milton, pick up Sanders too, because he's a good quarterback, dog. Um, I want him to go to the Browns and turn up. Be they start. I want him to be starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, and I want him to go crazy. I don't know no Joe Flacco, no Kenny Pickens, damn sure no Gabriel Dillon, whatever the hell he is. He come on, bro. Yeah, did you see the picture of him when he's still with the rest of the quarterbacks? He looked like a mighty might. He looked like a
Small.
shrimp.
Small. I knew he was short,
Shrimp.
but that was crazy.
Shrimp. You feel me, Joe? Why is he on the roster?
I felt
You
bad
feel me?
picture. That was a bad look.
That
Like,
picture was crazy, Joe. That picture was crazy. I'm like, y'all really drafted this dude in the third round, and then you drafted Sanders in the fifth. Like, come on, man. Browns, y'all even goofing for doing that. I'm out here in Ohio, Joe, so you already know. I hear all the news out here in Ohio, big dog. So the Browns people were like, what the hell are you doing? Even they were like, why are you drafting him in the third round? And we all know Sanders is better than him. He ain't never going to see the light of the football day, but y'all wasted a third round pick on him. That was just dumb.
yeah, I think the NFL has something. I don't know what it is either. I mean, Dion's a legend in the game. Like Dion is a big face for the NFL. Yeah, what is the beef with Dion? Like I really because that's what it
They
feels like.
don't like, they don't like Joe. Can I, can we be real? At least I'm going to say it from my perspective. I won't get anybody mad, but they don't like somebody who loud, not the right color, loud and boisterous, and this is what I am. People like to teach people lessons when you talk like that, and people don't like hearing that kind of noise from certain people. So I think that's what it really is, and I feel like a lot of people had a beef against Dion with his mouth, and because Dion would tell you, and he would come and do it. A lot of people don't like that when they hear it from a different color. Don't matter if it's black or anybody else, and they're gonna teach you a lesson. And I feel like when they saw his son, it was just like, yeah, this was,
I
and
think
you can't tell me, Joe, you didn't know it was going to happen after he didn't hit that first round. The fall, you felt like the fall was going to be real now.
yeah, yeah, and it's crazy because Born Crosa asked if I would pick him up. I wanted the Eagles to draft him. Once it got to like fourth round, I was like, bro, pick him up. Like, I mean, we're good at quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but that's an asset. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, that's an asset. So I was like, go ahead and pick him up if you got to. But I mean, Browns is probably the last place I would want to see him at. But it would add to the lore. But it is nobody's gonna forget what Deion Sanders did the first year in Colorado, and I would not be surprised if he doesn't get looks in a lot of different places just because of that. Like a lot of places, no matter how much they might say we want to win, our program wants to win, they still want some semblance of control. They want some, keep things the same but change it, if that makes sense. Like we know we need a change, but keep it the same a little bit. So I think that Deion kind of put his foot in his mouth, but I think he's learning from it. And I think that unfortunately for his son, he did kind of bear the brunt of it, but I hope he gets together. I hope he does have a good year because,
I think he would be great for Cleveland, Joe. Shedeur Sanders would be great for Cleveland. He's got the charisma. They need a They need a charismatic type quarterback. That's why they went and got Deshaun Watson. Okay, and it didn't work out. They dropped the ball, right? He has, even though he doesn't have all the physical tools, but he is a game quarterback. Like he'll take the hit. He sticks in the pocket. He's a hard worker. Like I just feel like if Cleveland really gives him a chance, he'll be a very good quarterback in Cleveland if they give him a chance.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I don't even know who. Do they still got Amari Cooper out there? Or did they trade him?
Nah, Amari Cooper, he's still out there in free agency.
Oh, he's still a free agent. Oh, damn. They should pick him up. I don't even know who their wide receiver is. I'm going to be real with you. I have not kept up with the Browns, but I hope that he has something out there. Bring Joe Thomas back or something because they gonna need everybody they can get, bro. But, I hope he has a good year. And I hope that as much as I hate to say this because I love Deion Sanders, I like his attitude. I like how he acts. I think it's fun to watch. It adds that level of whether you hate Colorado or you love Colorado, you're gonna watch Colorado. I remember 2 years ago, me and you almost every week we were like, bro, you see what's going on with Colorado, right?
Yep.
It tailed off a little bit, but at the end of the day, he brought a lot of eyes to Colorado. But I say that to say this: I hope that for his son's sake, both of his sons.
Oh yeah, whatchamacallit said they got Jerry Jeudy. I forgot they got Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy had a career year last year.
That's not bad at all. But yeah, so I hope he just calms down for his son's sake. Don't be LaMelo Ball or LeVar Ball, whatever the heck the father's name was. Even though I didn't hate that either. I mean, look, if I have kids, I'm gonna be the same dude. I'm gonna be that guy in the stands saying, that's my son. Like, I don't find that weird. I think that people are just jealous. If I'm being real with you, I think
it is
like, I wish that was me, and so I'm gonna hate on that guy.
Yes, it definitely is. I mean, you hit it on the nail. It's jealousy, in my opinion. Everybody would love to have their kid go to the NFL, and I'm a coach. And I play in the NFL. My kids in the NFL. Everybody would love that, dog. If you a father, everybody loving that. So to me, that's just jealousy, just hatred. But like you said, I think Dion understood it now, and I think he's just going to kind of play the back role because I saw it happening. I think a little bit of humbleness came in from their camp because of what happened. And so I think now it's kind of like, okay, we understand what this really is. So let's just go out there and play football. And I just hope the Browns staff really lets Sanders get a chance. I'm really looking forward to this preseason with them. I'm not going to lie. I hope when preseason comes, when he gets in that game, I hope it's one of those things where you cannot deny him from being that guy.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm praying for him. I really am. Man, that draft night was brutal, bro. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, James. I was not a fan of Shedeur prior to that. I was one of the people saying I don't think he's as good as people were making him out to be. I think he's a great quarterback, but I think that there were some cause for concern with him. But once he started sliding like that, and the things that they were saying, it was like every pick was like, oh well, let's go look at Shedeur Sanders. Like, bro, like, all right, we get it, bro. Like, let's chill a little bit. So I feel bad for him now. I think that he will find his way, whatever that is. I think that'll find his way. I'm also looking forward to seeing what happens with Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter
Hmm.
could change the scope of the NFL. I'm not saying that he'll be like the best player of all time, but you're giving me Deion Branch vibes. If you can be better than Deion Branch, it kind of becomes like is this something we let some kids do? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a world, in your opinion? And I want to ask you specifically because I know you interview a lot of, the younger generation kind of coming up. And I'm sure some of those people are going to be looking at Travis Hunter saying, if he can do it, I can do it, and I'm going to do it.
Yes.
Do you think that's
Yes.
going to become kind of, I don't want to say the trend, but a trend where you see these two-way players starting to come back to the NFL?
I do. I definitely. These kids. First of all, Joe. You know how we were coming up, and even I came up later than you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, seeing these athletes how they've grown from when I was coming up to now is ridiculous. They're getting
Mhm.
better and bigger, better and stronger year in and year out. So hell yeah, I know there's kids out there looking at Travis Hunter like, if he comes in the NFL and he's doing it and I'm playing, why can't I? It's the same thing like with the contract. That second round person got hit, Jaden Higgins got guaranteed. All them other ones like, why can't we? We nice too. We should be able to get ours paid too. So it's a copycat league. Them kids see Travis Hunter going back and forth on defense, and he's able to do it. Yes, I definitely feel. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a situation where it really happened, but I definitely feel like more kids will be like, hey, if he did it, I want to be able to do it too, especially if I'm doing it at a high level. I think a lot of kids will try to maybe go into college trying to do two-way because they've seen him. So I think a lot of kids are looking to see if he can be a success on that side because they will be trying to push a two-way offense defense thing. But I think that's really the position you could really only do it as.
Yeah.
So you can't really do that any with other positions. So I think that's only the only position you can really do that. But I definitely can see like maybe a taller receiver because Travis Hunter he's like about what almost 6 foot. I could see like the 6'2", right, 6'2" receiver and then 6'2" corner. I could see that, and I could see teams really liking that because of that size. So I think they're gonna really look at to see what he can do and try to emulate and copycat, especially if he's successful with it. And I hope he does very well. I still, I want to see it myself. I want to see it because it ain't really been done. We talked about Deion Branch, but he did it in a very small. We saw Deion. Deion played corner and he went to receiver that one year when Michael Irvin got in trouble. And he was our main receiver. So Deion was doing it too. So people forget Deion was playing cornerback and receiver one year. He did.
He was good. He was damn good. he was playing
Yes.
quarterback, wide receiver, and I think outfield
Punt
at a point.
returner.
He's like, that boy was doing everything. He probably was figure skating at some point too. He did a little bit of everything. He was fun to watch. I don't know how people can hate on him, but no, I'm really excited to see it. And I got my girl into All American. I don't know if you ever seen All American with Spencer James and that stuff. Like, so she's getting into. He played two ways, so now my girl can kind of relate. She understands what we're talking about right now. But this is a really good question. I love this question. Shout out to Born Crow. He's killing. I hope I'm saying it right. But you're killing
Great,
it with
great
questions.
question. You got a lot of knowledge up in here. Shout out C.
Yes. So he said, "How would you guys pay Hunter if he could play both sides, play both positions?"
That,
That's a good question.
that's I
Do
guess
you
we're
feel?
gonna be looking at what the where what position he's playing maybe more to where you
Yeah.
pay him or maybe where he's the most effective. That's gonna be tough because receivers make astronomical money. So from my end, if I'm doing it, right? If I'm doing it, Joe, I love defense, but your money is receiver money. You know what I mean? Receivers making damn 40 million, 30, $40 million a year.
Mhm.
Corners up in that 25 range. So if I'm the player, you got to give me the ball more on that receiver tip because I think he likes playing. Well, yeah, 96 catches last year, like 1,300 yards.
Yeah.
Um, and with him and with Brian Thomas, oh, I think it's going to be tough. I don't know how they do that. I'm just keeping it real. I think what they look at the majority of snaps that he's getting and what he's where he's really playing the most of what his camp really will say. well, this is what we are. Because you look at what Micah was playing, came in as linebacker, and they played him more on that edge, and they were putting more on edge, and Edge probably gets what does Edge get more money than linebacker money? Because that's what they were talking about. Is the Edge or is the linebacker? Because that money would be different.
Yeah, and people get afraid of the word weapon, I feel like, or gadget. You know what I'm saying? I feel like those are taboo words in the NFL right now. It's like you gotta know what you are. That's a really good question. And I think that the simulation you made with the how it happens on defense, because you see that a lot. You see, especially like safeties that come play slot corner a little bit. Do they get paid more than regular safeties? You know, stuff like that. So that is true. If I'm Travis Hunter, I'm doing exactly what you said. I'm saying I want to be on offense so that I get that wide receiver money. But if you're doing both, I mean, does it make you almost more value? That's a crazy question, and that's a crazy decision to have to make, to be real with you. That's going to be fun. I
Man,
wonder who his agent is. That's going to be a fun contract negotiation. It's going to be cool to just see what they do with that kid. Like, I really am just so interested to see what they do with him. If he's really that good. Like, we've seen him. I think he's really that good. But there's a lot of pressure on him, and there's a lot of pressure on Trevor Lawrence right now because, bro, you're supposed to be one of them ones. You came out as like a generational guy and have done nothing. So you
nothing.
got two bona fide studs at wide receiver right now.
You better make it happen.
You better make
Time is
something.
running out.
And let me ask you this: looking back on this draft, back on this offseason, is there? It could be the Eagles, Cowboys. It could be whatever team you want, or whatever player you want, whatever decision you want. Is there a player or a decision that a team made that you're like, this is going to be interesting? Like it could go either way. Is there any headlines you're looking at that you're like, I got my 100% focus on type of stuff?
Um, I'm trying to think. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this Chicago Bears thing.
Mm,
Uh, I'm looking at this Chicago Bears thing because I feel like everybody's hyping Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson this, Ben Johnson that, Ben Johnson, Ben Johnson, Ben Johnson. So I think I'm really looking at that. And plus we play the Bears this year. I want to kick their ass. I think we play in like week 2, week 3. I want to whoop their ass, dog. I want to whoop their ass. Because I'm tired of hearing about the Caleb Williams hype. Everybody's talking about, oh, they got him an offensive line, they got him this, they got him that. Now he gonna be able to do this. He got all the talent in the world. And, I want to see. I saw he. We talked about it last year, Joe, about Caleb Williams, right? We both were like, you know what I mean? And I said all that improvising and all that running around they ain't gonna that's not gonna work in the NFL, and it didn't. So that's my main storyline is Caleb Williams gonna take that second year leap, and is Ben Johnson gonna be that coach?
yeah,
That's what I'm looking at because
it's funny
they
because
talk too much about that, man.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. He's like to me, it's funny. He's like a black Jay Cutler. Like that's the vibe he gives me. It's like so much talent. It's just, do you really care? Like the whole game, do you really care? Like it doesn't feel like you actually give a damn. Like throughout the season,
It doesn't.
yeah,
It
it's weird
doesn't.
to say that about it, but it's like
It
I don't
doesn't feel
know.
like you really love football like that. Just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he does. If they're a good team, it will be an interesting year because I think that we both play them if I'm not mistaken. So it should be an
Yep.
interesting game either way. So we have some history with the Bears. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have some history as
Uh-huh.
Eagles fans with the Bears. So it'll be a fun game either way. If I had to pick one, I'm gonna pick two because I'm greedy. And when you brought this up, it made me think of it. To be honest, the one you made me think of is the Lions. I want to see what that Lions team is this year. You losing
Yeah.
Ben Johnson,
Yeah.
who was he was a big part of your team. You lost your other coordinator, if I'm not mistaken. You lost both your coordinators.
Yeah.
Like
Aaron
those,
Glenn.
bruh, that it's gonna get real. Your defense already kind of was iffy last year. I don't really, Glenn may be the lesser of two evils, but bro, your offensive coordinator was that guy. Ben Johnson was that guy. He
Mm-hmm.
was highly
Yeah.
talked about, and coming from a guy that has a guy in Nick Sirianni that's more so like a what's his name? Dan. What's his name? What's his name? The head coach for them. Why am I
From Brent for
for
Bears.
the Lions? Dan
Oh,
Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, so coming from a guy, Dan Campbell and Nick Sirianni, they're both like CEO coaches. You just lost
Hmm.
your design. You lost. I don't want to say it was all him because I do believe Dan Campbell has his hand in the pot somewhat, but you lost a big part of what you are and who you are. And coming from a team that went through that 2023, it's going to be very interesting to see what their identity becomes. If they can if they just say, hey, we're just going to keep doing the same thing, or is it going to be a whole new team? So I'm very, very interested to see what happens with the Lions if they take a step back. I think they will. And then I'm real interested in Ashton Jeanty. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think
Yeah.
people are gonna
Oh, yes.
be very disappointed in Ashton Jeanty. I don't think he's gonna be as
You
great
think
as they,
so?
especially for the Raiders. Bro, they don't have anything. So it's like we all know who we're going at. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know what y'all gonna try and do. I think Ashton Jeanty is gonna be a disappointment, but I'm excited to watch. I think it'll be fun to watch. I think it'll be
Right.
cool to see. I think that Phoenix and Atlanta, I think that could be interesting. Seeing what they could do with Bijan and him in the backfield. I'm excited about
I
this
think
NFL.
I think he'll be good in Atlanta, and I also am interested to see because everybody was saying Genty is generational and
That's what I'm saying.
he's different. And you've seen how everybody was on him in Dallas, and I wasn't on him. I did not want to draft him in the first round. I don't care how many people was. I went against everybody in the Cowboys community that was loving him. I stood firm, 10 toes down. I didn't want Genty. If they got him, we got him. But I did not want him in the first round. No, no, no. I didn't see generation. I seen very good back, great balance, good balance. But that generational stuff and what he did, he still played at Boise State. You know what I'm saying? I need to see. Let me see you here. Okay. Let me see you here. I don't wish that he does bad for sure. You want to see every young man come in the NFL and do great. But for me to sit there and say he's like that generational running back, like you talking, and Adrian Peterson is generational. I
Yeah,
don't see that in no damn Genty.
he is not AP. I don't even think he's Bijan. Like I think that he had a really great year. I don't even think he's Bijan. I don't think that he's Jameer Gibbs. I don't think that he's. I mean, go through some of these last, running back. I don't. There's some guys in the draft this past season that I think will have comparable years. I'm not saying that they're as good. I'm not saying that they're better than Ashton Jennings. I think that it was fair to have him as one of the top guys in that running back class. But you look at that running back class last year, bro.
There's gonna be a
It
lot of
was
good backs.
it was stacked. So I mean, like realistically, even the lazy borderline lazy guy you guys got, Jaden Blue, he's a dog. Jaden Blue is a
Oh,
dog.
here we go.
I
Here
can
we
say it.
go.
I can say
Here we go. Here we go. Cut that out. Cut
it.
that out. Because I'm gonna be talking with it on the Cowboy show later. And that's been the main headline, that borderline lazy crap.
I
Uh,
love
whatever.
it.
I that's just it's always happens right before camp, and and that's just funny to me. Some people out here in Cowboys land are like, yeah, don't let it out early, so you can't slip or anything like that. But to me, in my opinion, I just feel like, man, we don't need to be putting something like that on that young man already this early. But I told him, use that as that motivation, dog. Use that as that motivation.
That's all you could do. And I'll give you a little nugget. Probably Eagles fans probably won't want me to say this, but if any Eagles fans ever talk junk about Jaden Blue, just understand we were probably going to draft him if you did it. Like, man, he was probably coming down to Philly. Like we had a top 30 visit with him and everything, so he was probably coming to Philly. I think he'll be good. I don't think that he's lazy. I hate that people say that about anybody. I know I kind of maybe say it sometimes, but I don't think he's lazy. I think he'll figure it out. When you get to that level, I think this draft class of running backs, we're gonna look back and be like, wow. How we had that wide receiver class not too long ago with Chase and all them and stuff. I think this will be kind of that running back class that you're like, dang, because you had Neal, you had old boy from Ohio State, like you had dudes everywhere, up and down. So I think it'll be interesting. Last thing I want to ask, shout out to everybody in here, first of all, because we're going to have this on James' channel next week as well. So we'll have all the boys back and everything. But we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we have 91 people in here. I have not been live in a long time. This makes me feel so good. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I know James does as well. So keep on coming back. We gonna have all the boys here next week. Best of Enemies is back. Howie Robbery says my N words. Where y'all been? Good to see you guys back. It's good to be
I
back.
love that last comment. Yeah, I felt it from the Himalayas on that.
Yeah, my peoples, man. But no, this is the last thing I want to ask, and I kind of talk about. I'll go first because I want to know expectations. Last year when we talked around this time, you're brutally honest all the time, but you were brutally honest
Hmm.
last year. You said, "I feel like this is a lame
I
duck
called
season."
it.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't going to be anything. So I want to ask, I'm trying to think of somebody other than Miss Cleo because I feel like that's rude. I'm trying to think of another psychic. I need you to be a psychic again. All right, I need you to be a psychic.
Nostradamus.
Yeah, there we go. Nostradamus. Thank you. Um, what do you think your expectations are for this year? I'm gonna say for the Eagles, right? I do expect a little bit of a regression. I don't. Do I still think that we're a Super Bowl contender? For sure. Do I expect us to win the Super Bowl? No. I expect us to get in the playoffs, win a game or two, and fight, for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But I do think that there's maybe going to be a little bit of a regression. I think that you still have some questions that you have to answer as far as the secondary goes. I think that, the defensive line, while I still think that they're really good, they have to prove themselves, right? You got guys like Jalen Hunt, Nolan Smith has to have another year. Jalen Carter has to have another year. Jordan Davis has to have another year. So I think that you'll see that this year. But I'm not as gung ho as I was last year, saying that we're going to be Super Bowl
You
champions.
called it though. You pissed
I
me
did.
off.
I did. I did call how we were going. I just felt good. But this year, I think that everybody kind of knows exactly what the Eagles are going to be. I feel we can win the Super Bowl. I want to make that very clear. I do feel like we can, but that's not the expectation I'm putting on them. I want to go out there. Let's continue to build. Let's continue to learn, each other and figure out what this team is. And I think that the byproduct of that could be a Super Bowl. So Mike Brown says I expect us to make the Super Bowl again. So
Uh,
but you know what, Mike? You're right. We gonna win it again. Back to back champs now. Yeah, I think that it could be a great year, but we have to just get through the season, man. That's my biggest thing. We got really lucky last year with injuries, and knock on wood. Hopefully, nothing happens this year. But everything went perfect last year. We done being humble. Next week when I'm telling you, when George is on here, I promise you, he'll probably piss me off. So between the two of them, I won't be as humble. But I want to know, what are your expectations for your Cowboys this year?
Um, I said I expect us to at least get 9 wins, but now, and this is not drinking the Kool-Aid or anything, but I just feel like this might be the year, and I've been talking about it when the Cowboys had Romo, and he kind of came out of nowhere in '06 mid-season, and then Parcells left, and we got Wade Phillips, and they went hit the ground running in '07. We went like 13-3. I feel like I'm not saying that we're going to do that, but I feel like we're going to surprise a lot of people because a lot of people really disrespected me, Brian Schottenheimer, and basically when they had to hire, they were just like, man, he what? Out of all the people you picked him, like, and I feel like he really took that personal. I feel like he took that personal. He may not be saying it on the outside, but I feel like he really took it personal. Health is obviously is going to be the key, Joe. Like we have to be healthy. And I feel like if we are relatively healthy more than we were last year, I definitely feel like I'm gonna say I ain't gonna go crazy. I'm gonna say we at least get 10 wins, in my opinion. We at least get 10 wins this year. We could possibly get more, but I'm gonna say we at least get 10 wins this year. I feel like we have the team. We have enough talent. Even when they were losing last year, they were in a lot of the games, and they played hard for Mike McCarthy still and Zimmer. And we lost a lot of talent due to injuries. So you got to bring that talent back. And now we got a George Pickens. That's huge on my tip because now we got that number two or that 1A. That's going to make a huge difference for that offense. And I feel like that offense is kind of going to hit the ground running. So I think we are going to surprise people. I'm going to say at least 10 wins this year. I do think we'll make the playoffs, wild card, win the division. I don't know, but at least definitely a wild card we get in there. And Then from that point, it's got to be coaching. You know what I listened to the other day, Joe, Up in Smoke podcast, and they had Reggie Miller on there. You know, he was talking to the guys, and one of the things he said that resonated to me was he was like, "Yeah, like I know, guys, playoff playoff basketball is different than regular season. You got the players can carry the teams through the regular season, but when you get to the playoffs, it's coaching." That's the main thing he said, dog. He said playoffs is coaching. So that's the thing. And I feel like Schottenheimer has the ingredients to be a very, very good coach. We don't like how he got hired. It was the same goofy way the Cowboys always hire people. But in that way, they did that goofiness. They may have stumbled upon a guy that might be the guy for the team, which I think he is. So he's got to do it and he's got to show it. But he's been around the league 25 years. He's had successful offenses. He's been around successful coaches. So 10 wins is my thing. I think we get in at least a wild card and hopefully Schottenheimer can show difference in players because that's what everybody's cared about now. And I've even said it myself. I need real Dak moments this year.
Yeah.
You got we got a hard schedule, especially toward the end of the year. The gauntlet, the November, December, you got six teams, two or three teams that were 14-win teams, and then you had like six straight teams that were over 11 wins. That's where we want to see some Dak moments. This is where we need to see us win some big games. You better beat Pat Mahomes on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to win that game. Like those are the games you need to win because too many times we play these top teams and come out flat, lose, get down early, come back, still lose. I ain't trying to see that this year. I don't care if it's a new coach. This is where you need to show your real and Dak Prescott. I need them moments because we've talked behind closed doors with some of my people. You think we didn't like seeing Jaden Daniels come out of freaking nowhere going to the championship game and we got our quarterback going through it 9 years and it ain't it's not the game is a team game, right? And the defense coaching has let them down. But at the same time, the quarterback has been a part of it, and there's got to be some differences. Because me personally, I said I got a little bit more grace for Shotty, maybe 3 years as a coach, but if Dak with this team and you got players in 2 years, you're still seeing the same thing. You got Joe Milton there. That's when I'm gonna be start thinking about things. I'm keeping it
Yeah.
real.
I think it's a big year for Dak Prescott. It's a very big year for Dak Prescott. I think out of all teams, in the NFC East at least, he's probably the one with the most on the line right now, just because it is. If you get hurt again, I think that's a big deal too. You're not young anymore. You're not a spring chicken. So yeah, the leash might be getting a little short on Dak Prescott. We shall see. It's going to be very interesting. But I think we're going to get out of here now, man. Over 90 people in the chat still. Shout out to everybody, man. It feels good to be back. I'm excited for next week. We'll figure out what we're going to do. Maybe we'll do record prediction again. Maybe we'll do, I don't know, we'll do lists. Yeah, we'll figure out what we're going to do
We'll
next
figure
week.
it out. We always got it good. Joe is always coming with them good ideas behind the scenes. Y'all don't be knowing that. But my dog always coming with them good questions with me and George. Like, hey, what do y'all think about this? What would you like to talk about this? This has been kind of interesting. That's one thing I love about you, Joe. You always come with a lot of good ideas to make you think about, what we want to talk about, and it really opens your mind to a lot of things that maybe you didn't see. So I really appreciate you. So I know we're gonna come with some fire content, especially when George come back, because then we'll have the three of us, you feel me, and really can get jump in that NFC. So I know you're gonna be cooking up with it. So make sure y'all all tune in next week because we really appreciate you coming in. Like I said, I'm almost 100, and I ain't even had my channel on today, and I know we would have had more in. You know what I'm saying? So everything will be back booming, and I can't wait when George gets back because I know you're gonna come with some fire ideas, and we're gonna make it really nice and get the best of enemies. Once again, the originators in this game.
Originals. It's like the Kings of Comedy. We're the originals. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of
The originators. You see a lot of stuff popped up after this, and we're the originators with it, dog. We're the originators with it.
just saying. But nah, I do appreciate everybody watching, man. Next week's gonna be a lot of fun. Shout out to George. I hope we did you proud, brother. We said we were gonna hold it down for you. I think we did a decent job. We've done this a couple times. James. I think we used to just
did this a few times before.
Yeah, every now and then it's happened. So definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go subscribe to my brother James if you aren't already. Go subscribe to George if you aren't already. Links will be in the description. We will see you next week. Watch out for our Twitters so you can know what time we're going live. That's, always on our Twitters usually. So go over there, check us out, show love. You guys always do. Other than that, do you have anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we play them best intro on YouTube and best outro?
Best intro, outro. No, I don't. Just make sure you're getting ready for next week. It's going to be fire. And make sure y'all tune in all year because it's going to be an exciting year because now the Commanders back in the business. I think the Giants are going to be a better team, especially that defense. And the NFL is a better league when the NFC East is banging.
NFC Beast, baby. But yeah, other than that, y'all know what it is, man. I'm Joe. That's my brother James. And we are the best enemies. Peace.
Peace.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're